Hey guys, good morning. And no, surprise, I'm not in my usual craft room. I'm sitting here in my comfy chair, working on today's order. Thanks to that cat, Lily, right there. I didn't get much sleep last night. She gets in these moods where she wants to go outside in the middle of the night, and there's no way on earth I can let her because she will be eaten by coyote. So anyway, she kept me up last night. So if I look really tired and sleepy, that's because of... So anyway, last night I was sitting here knitting, finishing up an order, trying to finish up an order anyway. It's a dishcloth, and I'm doing it in a garter rib stitch where it's knit 2, purl 2, and end on a knit 2. If you've never done a garter rib before, you end on a knit because you're gonna turn it on the next side and you're gonna do knit 2, purl 2 across. So, but anyways, and I like the way, before I get on to my story, I like the way because I'm using 10.5 US 10.5 clovers, and I like the way it's loose. It's a very loose stitch. And different ones that I've made dishcloths for, they've all said the same thing. Could you loosen the stitch up? Because being cotton, the yarn does not dry. That's one of the nightmarish problems with it. It just doesn't want to dry. So anyway, so I've been using larger needles with them to spread that out a bit. And then I think I'm going to do something, well, I'll show it at another time. I want to test it out first and see if it works. Anyway, so last night I'm sitting here working on, not this one, but the one before it. And I've got Julie Andrews on an audio book to my left, and then some books stacked up here that I tend to look at later. And the cat jumps up, hits the books, knocks the books off. I'm still sitting here trying to knit because I don't want to stop at any given point in time. And next thing I know, I've somehow miraculously gone from 30 stitches to 32. Somehow in all the chaos, I messed up. I managed to add 2 extra stitches. Don't know how I did it. I didn't think it's even possible. I managed to add 2 extra stitches to my work. I didn't realize it until 4 rows later. It was like, something's not right here. So I went back, and that 4 rows, it was like, how did I miss that? There was a strand going across the back, and I don't know where it came from. So anyways, I got all of that figured out. But when you're, it's one thing to pull back 4 rows. If you're doing like a stockinette stitch, it's not a big deal. But when you're doing knit 2, purl 2, and you've got the purl stitches to deal with, to me, it's not as easy. So I took it 1 stitch at a time going back, which using big needles, and I make so many mistakes all the time anyway, it goes pretty fast. But anyway, so I got that undone. But what I wanted to ask you guys this morning was, I was watching a podcast last night of the Bakery Bears, and I had missed their live podcast, so I was trying to get caught up. And in the podcast, what happened was somebody had mentioned being organized. And Dan was asking his wife, Kay, about when she felt about... they were talking about being creative. And she said that she really prefers to just let things come to her, because that's when she does her best work. If she tries to force creativity, it's just not going to happen. And so that's what I was wondering with you guys. How do you work best? Are you more creative under pressure or less creative? For myself, I'm definitely less creative under pressure. I prefer to just let things come, same as she does. That's when I have my best ideas. Like last night, for a few weeks now, I've been wrestling, trying to come up with a particular idea and an answer to it, and nothing was clicking. I have sat for hours. I have sketched. I have done everything I can try and get through and come up with an idea. And so I'm lying here in bed this morning, and it was like, oh, I've got it. I've got the answer. But it just took time to just sit and think on it, and then just let the subconscious do its thing and come up with an answer for it. So that's my question to you guys this morning. What kind of creative are you? Do you work best under pressure or worse under pressure? So leave your comments in the comments below or on Facebook fan page, and we'll catch you later. Have a great day, guys.